As the coronavirus continues to spread across America, local, state, and federal government have been making decisions on how to quell the spread. From asking people to shelter in place, or even forcing them to by threatening them with fines, the government has been a resounding voice in who has to stay home and who is allowed to leave. And more importantly, which businesses get to stay open and which ones have to close. With many states declaring that only essential businesses are allowed to stay open and that mass groups of people should be dispelled, several states have declared that gun stores are to be closed and prisons are to be opened. California is one of the states leading the way in this, as the LA County Sheriff declared Tuesday that gun stores are non-essential businesses that will be forced to close immediately. However, California is not the only state implementing gun store closures. Other states following suit include New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. Luckily, after declaring gun stores as non-essential businesses and ordering them to shut down, Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf allowed gun stores to reopen Tuesday after 2 state Supreme Court justices dissented from allowing them to remain closed. Which is lucky for citizens, since police in Philadelphia have decided to stop making arrests for crimes such as drug offenses, retail and auto theft, burglary and vandalism, among others. A trend that is sweeping across various states, resulting in citations being issued in place of criminal arrests. And while these states close their gun shops and limit arrests for crimes, they are also releasing low-level inmates, sending them home early in an attempt to prevent a coronavirus outbreak within crowded jails or prisons. Other states that are following this trend include New York, Ohio, New Jersey, and at least a dozen others. So gun stores are being shut, criminal arrests are being limited, prisons are being opened, and American citizens are being told they must shelter in place or face being fined up to $1,000 or 6 months in jail. Before the implementation of these gun store closures, there was a huge rise in gun and ammo sales, with many Americans sharing that if they were going to be locked in their homes in a time of mass hysteria, they wanted to have a way to protect themselves. A smart move, as inmates began prison breaks and thefts began to rise as people steal supplies amid the coronavirus panic. Not only that, but police are now arresting citizens on their private property for breaking coronavirus ordinances. 2 men were arrested in New Jersey after hosting a wedding on their own private property with more than 50 people in attendance, violating New Jersey's COVID-19 orders. It's one thing for the government to try and contain the spread of a global disease, but it's another for them to use this outbreak to impede upon the Second Amendment, force Americans to stay home, arrest citizens on their own property, and cripple the entire U.S. economy. So remember, during this time of mass hysteria, not to let the media or the government use this virus to scare you out of your constitutional rights. This has been Savannah Hernandez for Action 7 News.
We brought in a non-globalist paid actor and did a blind taste test between the mac and cheese from Storable Foods at InfoWarsStore.com and one of America's leading brands. These are the results.
Now go ahead and try the first macaroni and cheese to your right.
It literally smells like nothing.
And what are your first thoughts?
Typical. Takes me back to when the babysitter doesn't quite know how to make it like your mom makes it, so it's just not,
Let's move on to the one on your left.
See, this one actually smells like cheese. All right, do I have any on my fork here? .com.